For the last 7 years, my 23-year-old has been suffering from a severe eating disorder. On October 30th of last year, she passed away as a result of that.
Well, I was probably about 12 or 13 years old when I really started getting into some trouble with all that. I was under a lot of stress. I think we had just moved and I was having some hard times making friends, and I feel like I couldn't really talk to anybody. I started to feel alone, and I guess, I just stopped eating less. I didn't take care of myself so much. And eventually it got so bad. I was going 4-5 days at a time without food or water, and I eventually ended up in the emergency room. I was just so weak I could barely even stand.
I am Kimberly Martinez, and I'm the executive director of the ELISA Project, which is a Texas nonprofit. We're dedicated to fighting against eating disorders. We're community service, grassroots. ELISA was a Dallas native young woman who attended Highland Park High School and suffered from an eating disorder for about a little over 7 years. Her mother and father, after she lost her battle against an eating disorder, started the ELISA Project in her honor. And she left behind a diary that her dad found, asking him to please do something to keep others from suffering the way that she had. And that's what he did. That's what her mom, that's what he and her mom chose to do.
Eating disorders, I guess the best way that I came to look upon it is this insidious, almost a monster that comes into your household. It takes the person and it sinks its claws into them, and it lies to them. It gets them to believe the only thing that is important is it. It isolates them from their friends, their school, their loved ones, while telling them the entire time, I'm your best friend, you're the only thing that you need is right here.
If somebody's that was talking to you is just not not really talking to anybody, and it's kind of, I guess, shutting in on themselves and, sort of closing themselves off to relationships and friendships, then I would reach out to them, even if, it's been not a lot of communication for a while. I would just call them or send them a text or, go by their house and just, just talk to them and see, are you okay? Is everything really okay?
No one told us, no one sat down with us and looked us in the eyes and said, you need to be afraid. Nobody sat down with us and said, there are about 325 million people in the United States, which means there's somewhere between 27 and 30 million who are affected by this. About 9% of the population in the United States is affected or will be. Nobody sat down with us and said, anorexia has the highest mortality rate of any mental illness out there. And finally, I would tell the dads one last thing. I would say, dads, this is the one statistic I want you to have burned not only into your head, but your heart and your soul. Every 62 minutes, a person dies as a direct result of an eating disorder. Every 62 minutes, someone dies. That's reprehensible.
Now I'd say I'm generally pretty happy. I have lots of friends that love me and I love them, and my family's closer than they've been. Not that they weren't close before, but we're strong as we could be. I think life's going pretty well. Yeah, just if anyone's, going through something like that, just, never give up or feel like it's too late to do something about it. That, the only person that has really any control over your body is you, and that, it's never too late to sort of make things better.
I would really encourage people to find out more about eating disorders, because it is something that, an eating disorder is something that is so easily prevented. And the more people that know about it and are aware of them, the fewer people have to be sick.